If luck were a political strategy, Democrats would be billionaires by now, because every time they're in trouble, some liberal activist judge magically appears to bail them out. It's like deja vu. Same playbook, just a different scandal. And the latest lucky contestant? John Bolton. His case just landed in front of one of the most partisan judges in the country, a man whose obsession with Donald Trump borders on clinical. I mean, this is a judge who's twisted rulings, he's ignored precedent, and been overturned so many times, he probably qualifies for a frequent flyer program at the appellate court. But that Democrat luck, it doesn't stop in the courtroom. It's showing up on the streets too, like in Portland, where police officers were caught on video protecting Antifa rioters as they attacked DHS agents. You couldn't script this kind of hypocrisy if you tried. It's like the Democrats are writing the GOP's midterm campaign ads for free. And now, even James Carville is jumping ship, blasting his own party as it sinks under the weight of its own chaos. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I also quickly want to say a huge thank you to all of you. We just hit 200,000 subscribers last night in just 9 short months. That is incredible. None of this happens without you watching, liking, and commenting, and helping spread the message, of course, that is rooted in facts, common sense, and patriotism. So stick around till the end. I've got a special shout out for our members and loyal viewers that you don't want to miss. So let's start with John Bolton, because the judge overseeing his case isn't just biased, he's practically campaigning from the bench. U.S. District Judge Theodore Chuang, Obama's 2014 handpicked activist, has a resume that reads like a greatest hits album of anti-Trump rulings. Let's walk through a few of his most outrageous decisions. First up, 2017. Trump rolls out the travel ban to shield us from jihadist hotspots. You know, common sense security after Obama's open door disaster. Well, what does King Chuang do? He slams a nationwide injunction, screeching Trump's ban is fueled by anti-Muslim bias. The case went to the Supreme Court, which overruled the district judge's decision 6-3. That is strike one for the Obama elite. Fast forward to 2020. Trump is enforcing FDA rules for in-person abortion pill visits, keeping law and order while protecting life. Chuang? He tosses the rules right out the window, giving Planned Parenthood a pandemic free-for-all. SCOTUS swats it down. That's strike two. Then 2025 hits, and Trump's draining the swamp with Doge. Elon Musk, he starts slicing bloat like USAID's woke billions to transgender operas overseas. Well, Chuang jumps in and declares it unconstitutional. He blocks the cuts, calls Musk a rogue operator violating separation of powers, and actually orders Doge to restore email and system access for current USAID employees, essentially letting the agency police itself. The White House slammed it as a miscarriage of justice by a rogue judge subverting the people. The Fourth Circuit of Appeals overturns the ruling. That is strike three. Chuang also blocked Trump's immigration raids on illegal aliens hiding in churches and sanctuaries, but that order, like the others, it didn't last. A higher court allowed the administration to proceed. That is strike four. Apparently 3 strikes and you're out doesn't apply if you are an activist judge. Well, now he's got Bolton, Trump's disloyal ex-advisor, who smeared the boss over Ukraine and China deals, pleading not guilty on October 17th. Passports have been yanked. His next hearing is scheduled for November 21st. And just to give you a quick overview of who is overseeing the cases, not only involving Bolton, but also James Comey and Letitia James, here's a quick rundown of the other 2 judges. So let's start with the judge that is assigned to James Comey's case. That is Judge Michael Nachmanoff. He was appointed by Joe Biden in 2021. Now, I did a deep dive on the judge, and I can honestly say I wasn't able to find anything that appeared to be biased in his work. Prior to his nomination to the district court bench, he served as a magistrate judge in 2015, and prior to that, served as a federal public defender in the Eastern District of Virginia for over a decade. Now, in the case of Letitia James, we have another Biden-appointed judge, Judge Jamar Walker. Walker is Virginia's first openly gay federal judge who was fast-tracked into the DOJ system. He spent 8 years as an assistant when the average is 12 to 20 years. He also completely skipped the supervisory ladder, never serving as a deputy, section head, or U.S. attorney. In other words, he was vaulted to the federal bench in record time. Now, that's not a disqualifier, but it certainly raises questions about how much courtroom management experience he brings into a case this big. James is due back in court this Friday. As for over in Portland, total chaos outside the ICE facility. Antifa radicals have literally turned the streets into a war zone. Check out this video. Those rioters are hurling explosives and tear gas at federal DHS agents who are just trying to clear the driveway of the ICE facility. But the left insists nothing to see here. What's even more disturbing is that the Portland Police Department, they're running interference for Antifa. You've got to see this next clip. Watch closely. I'm going to show it to you in full. You're going to see rioters hiding behind a sign. They're basically shining a spotlight directly into the eyes of DHS agents. Now, the agents respond with pepper balls, and what happens next is mind-blowing. The two agitators sprint behind a line of Portland police officers who literally shield them from federal agents. Watch this up close.
Something in the... They're hiding behind the sign. And they're running for cover behind Portland police. Oh my God.
Unbelievable. We are so divided that one law enforcement agency is now protecting criminals who are attacking another. I mean, how did we reach this level of insanity? As far as the National Guard, a federal judge initially blocked their deployment with 2 restraining orders. But just yesterday, the Ninth Circuit tossed one of those out, meaning the Oregon Guard could soon be federalized. Now, the second order is still in place, but it could be changed at any moment. And if lifted, 200 troops could hit the streets fast. The next major hearing for this is set for October 29th. Now, independent journalist Nick Sordo, who's been on the ground through all of this, says the National Guard is desperately needed, and they're needed now because Portland police are being weaponized by the left.
They sent out Portland police and Oregon state troopers out here that were given commands from the top to retreat every single time that things got dicey. And the people of Oregon, now keep in mind, this is an American city. These people deserve better. They are victims of the government's total refusal to keep them safe, enforce noise ordinances. I mean, you hear these horns honking all day. This building right behind me is an apartment complex that houses veterans and young parents, and none of them are able to get the noise ordinances enforced. They are victims of the system.
We'll keep a close eye on the situation that is unfolding on the ground in Portland. Meantime, there's been a major development in one of my favorite genres, the F Around and Find Out file. An Illinois State University teacher decided to go full WWE on a Turning Point USA table. If you missed it, I've got the clip, and then I'll give you the update on the other side. Watch this insanity.
Well, you know, Jesus did it, so you know I got to do it, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus did it. Good Lord, he did this. Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Ah, yes, because nothing says academic freedom like body slamming a folding table in the name of social justice. That man, who clearly struggles with the concept of peaceful disagreement, is Derek Lopez, a teaching assistant at Illinois State University, or at least used to be. According to the Illinois State University Police Department, the 27-year-old was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and criminal damage to property. Now, Lopez is a graduate student and teaching assistant who over the last week is alleged to have disrupted 2 information tabling events being hosted by a registered student organization.
The university released a statement confirming Derek Lopez has been let go as a graduate teaching assistant. The 27-year-old was arrested for disorderly conduct and criminal damage to property. Organization members say they didn't press charges after the first incident, but changed their minds after they claim Lopez returned 4 days later.
Maybe next semester, if he's ever allowed back on campus, Derek should skip the elective and major in anger management because the left clearly missed the class on practice what you preach. I mean, they're out there waving their tolerance flag, preaching love and acceptance like they're campaigning for the Nobel Peace Prize. But the second someone dares to disagree, boom, suddenly they turn into the speech police, barking orders like political hall monitors on a power trip. And speaking of power trips, over in California, the governor's race is stacked with real winners, let me tell you. I mean, gosh, who do I vote for? Katie Porter, the queen of viral meltdowns? Or maybe Betty Yee, who went on Piers Morgan's Uncensored and basically said she's fine throwing our daughters to the wolves in the name of inclusion?
I think transgender female athletes are women athletes, and they should be able to compete.
Really? So if you were governor of California, you would support biological males who identify as women competing in women's sport in the Olympics?
They are now identified as transgender female.
Really? So if she's governor, she's cool with biological men competing in women's Olympic events? I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't care what you identify as or how you live your life, but I do care when women are forced into unfair and unsafe situations. That's where most of America draws the line. And here's the part that makes my head spin even more. In one breath, Betty Yee says trans women should compete as women, and in the next she admits there are biological differences.
Out of interest, why do you think we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Well, because they do come with different attributes in terms of physicality.
So she gets it, right? Case closed? Wrong. She immediately doubles down with something so nonsensical you have to hear it to believe it. She then claims women can actually keep up with men in Olympic competition. You can't make this up. Watch.
Can you think of a single sport in the Olympics where men would not have an advantage over women, with the exception potentially of archery?
You know, I think you can see female athletes where, particularly in track and field, where agility is probably...
Have you seen the times that women and men record in the Olympics for all track and field events? Have you watched Usain Bolt when he smashed the world record for the 100 meters?
Yes, yes.
So you think women could run against Usain Bolt, for example, at his peak, and that would be fair?
I think look, I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of misinformation about the ability of transgender athletes.
That wasn't my question.
As a woman, it's infuriating to watch another woman toss biological reality and women's safety in the trash just to please the activist mob. I mean, we fought for decades for fair competition and scholarships. And Betty, she just shrugs it all away like it's a nuisance. So what's next? Only men get to win college scholarships now? I mean, could the problem possibly be that she's been spending too much time around guys like this?
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks
Woo!
like.
So many things I want to say, none of which my editor will allow to make air. So let's move on. Even James Carville sounded like the adult in the room after watching Betty's performance. When he's your party's voice of reason, oh, you know the ship is sinking.
Because what you're doing, you understand what you're doing, to try to some kind of cheap political point with a bunch of left-wing zombies, is you're ruining the women that work their asses off, that compete. And by the way, there's been an explosion in interest in women's sports, and I give a good amount of credit to Coach Kim Mulkey, my dear friend, who's LSU women's basketball coach.
And to
the
Richard
last
Nixon.
thing they need to do is be competing against the Duke men's basketball team. This is asinine, asinine, asinine.
It's actually an insult to Title IX, which you have to give Richard Nixon
Right.
credit
It's just
for.
like, where do these people come from? What
changed
rock
everything.
do they crawl from under?
And then, because we live in upside down world, Whoopi Goldberg has to chime in with her theological TED Talk.
I think part of the problem that the trans community is facing, and it's the same problem that women face, is if you don't know anything about our bodies, you don't know how it works. So when you come in and you say, oh, you know, these are men, you know, competing against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here. Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue. The same for me as when people say, oh, you know, I don't know how I feel about you. You do. God doesn't make mistakes.
No.
And the challenge is not to the trans people, it's to the people who are not trans. That's what God is looking to see, how you treat people.
Okay, Whoopi, if God doesn't make mistakes, why are you supporting people who say he put them in the wrong body? And apparently female athletes know what they're doing, so there's no safety issue? Is she serious with that? I mean, tell that to the female volleyball player who took a spike to the face from a biological male and suffered a serious brain injury. Her life forever changed. Or what about the female boxer in the 2024 Olympics who was forced to fight a biological male? That match over in 46 seconds. And then there's the college basketball players who have been sidelined and injured by inclusivity. And let's not forget Leah Thompson, ranked 462nd in men's swimming. Suddenly, #1 among women. That's not equality. That is theft. Women have fought for decades to earn their place on that podium, and now, in the name of progress, California Democrats are willing to just push them right off? See, the only way this changes is at the ballot box. So make sure you get out there and vote like your country depends on it, because it does. Now, before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank all of you, our loyal viewers and members of the show, to everyone who has contributed a super thanks, shared the show, or just taken the time to watch and engage. We see you. We appreciate you, and we could not do this without your support. Your voice matters, your time matters, and your commitment to staying informed makes all the difference. So from all of us here, thank you for being a part of this community. Now up next, Democrats are taking their rhetoric to a disturbing new level. Wait until you see this chilling video that's now surfacing. Unhinged liberals are literally calling for the obituaries of key Republican leaders. That's right, they're not even pretending to be tolerant anymore. The mask is off. They are openly saying they need to play God to wipe out the call of evil. Go ahead, click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.